This is Keys to My Mind, episode 8, and it's called Childhood. Um, I want to talk about, you know, how I was brought up and how I was raised. Um, my dad was married at the time to my stepmom, and he had me by my mom. So my dad took me from my mom and took me to my stepmom, and we lived together for a few years, but uh, maybe when I was 6, my dad left, you know, and my stepmom raised me or whatever. We had to move to the hood, to the projects, and it was rough. I mean, some days, I didn't have food, and I had to wear my friends' clothes, and we had to sleep on the floor, and like I said, it was rough. Um, and there was a lot of other things that were going on. So, long story short, I got placed in a foster home when I was like 7, and then I got placed in another foster home. My stepmom's sister ended up taking me in. Now, my stepmom's sister was 50 something years old at this time, and I was 7. She didn't have any kids of her own. So she was old school, you know, and you know how old school people are. Like, old school people are very strict, are very tough. An old school person, which really more parents should be like this today. Um, if you didn't do what an old person said, I mean, you were gonna pay the price. Like, it was gonna be consequences. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that if I didn't do what she said, that she was gonna whoop my ass, and my uncle was gonna whoop my ass. I didn't just get like one whooping; I would get two. So I realized, like over the years, I used to really have a lot of resentment. I used to feel some kind of way toward these people, but I think in the end, it helped me. It helped me as a person. And see, my auntie was very. She always thought that you're supposed to try to learn as much as possible. Like, if she always felt like if anybody else could do something, then you could do it. So anything else that anybody else did, she felt like I could do it. And her believing that, it gave me the same kind of confidence that I could do these things or whatever. So my aunt took me in, and I had to go to a new school. And I get to this school, and nobody really knows who I am. I didn't have no friends, I didn't have no family there. So I was always on my own. And it was tough. And people used to pick on me, and people used to whatever. Um so when I got to a certain age, I think I was in the 6th grade, and we were playing baseball. And you know, at first, I'm just cracking out whoop de whoop. In this one game, I remember this. I hit the ball. I hit a home run, or what you want to call a home run for us. And it's this guy. He was a bully. This dude, he was in 6th grade. He should have been like the fucking 9th grade. He like fucking 6'1", big black ugly dude or whatever. This dude didn't just pick on me. He picked on every fucking body. Like, he would take our, Thursday with chicken day, he'll take our chicken, he'll take our rolls, he'll take our milk, he would take whatever. And nobody would stand up to this dude. So, like I said, I had street parents, so I knew that if I did get into a fight, that they basically gonna beat the shit out of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was gonna beat me, my auntie, and my uncle was gonna whoop me. And back in them days, see, the principal would whoop you also. So you looking at 3 whoopings, or whatever. So I had hit the home run. And this dude was on my team, bro. This dude was on the same team that I was on. And I'm rounding the bases, this and that. And when I get ready to get to the home plate, he sticks out his fucking leg, right? And I fucking trip and fall. And some kind of way my pants end up coming down or whatever. And the whole school just laughed and ha 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 and all this shit. So when this happened, like, I don't know if I snapped or whatever, but I just, I had to pick up the baseball bat. And, I didn't, whatever. I just hit the dude in the leg or whatever. And, only reason I bring this up is, after I did this, the dude chased me for like 3 fucking days. He didn't catch me. And the principal whooped me. My auntie and my uncle, they whooped the shit out of me, bro. Like, I didn't care. Like, that was the first time that I got a whooping that I didn't cry. It didn't bother me. But the reason I tell y'all this is because after this shit happened or whatever, then nobody fuck with me no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody was like, oh, he's crazy. Oh, he whatever. Which, I didn't care. Like, what, it was what it was. So I go through school, and like I said, I've never was a popular person. I was always the nerd. I never had the girls. And people always, he's ugly and this and that. I didn't realize that people saying these things had really, I had started to believe this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they like, oh, you ugly, you this and you that. So I get to college or whatever, and the next thing I know, it's like a whole new ball game. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything in college is different than the shit that was going on in high school. I get to college, and I'm popular. I'm good looking, I basically could choose what girl I wanted to talk to. You know what I'm saying? And I hung with, the frats and whatever, the frat guys or whatever. And like I said, it was a whole nother ball game. Now, when I come back to this family thing, I realized this, like, since my dad took me from my mom, her people, they never really just knew me like that. And my dad's people didn't know me like that because he had disappeared or whatever. And so my stepmom people were the people that were really like my family. Like, I grew up with them. I'm young or whatever. I remember Grandpa, I remember Grandma, I remember all of these people, you know what I'm saying, that was in this family. So, but the family always treated me like shit. Like, you're not really our family. So, they never really just fuck with me like that. The funny part about it is, I've gotten older. Now, the family, they kids, like my aunties and uncles on my stepmom's side, they kids, they are really different. Like, they loving, and they try to reach out, and I'm glad that they have good hearts on them to try to do that. But they don't really understand that, me growing up in this family, all the shit that I had to go through, like, sitting outside on the fucking porch at Christmas and shit. Like, everybody getting gifts for Christmas, and I ain't getting a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? And this and that. So I didn't realize, like, my auntie that raised me, and she pushed me to learn. Like, I had to study and shit. I had to read the encyclopedia, the thesaurus. And while the other kid was out here and playing and shit, I was learning. And I had to learn. She always felt like I had to learn more than the next person because I was at a disadvantage or whatever. So I will give her credit, her pushing me. When I graduated from high school, it made me want to go to college. It made me want to at least say that I got my college degree or whatever. But the family, they had resentment or whatever. Like, because they kids and shit, they kept putting on a fucking pedestal like they were better than me and shit. They children did not graduate from college. They children just like whatever. You know what I'm saying? So when I did graduate and we had you know, a graduation party or whatever, and me and my stepmom, my aunt that raised me, we went and we bought shit and we bought invitations and we sent out invitations to the whole family, like everybody in my stepmom's family. And so when I got ready to graduate from USM or whatever, we get there. None of these people showed the fuck up. No one. The only two people that were there was my stepmom and my aunt or whatever. And it made me feel some kind of way. I mean, but I already knew that, like you said, like I told y'all, like, you know, I ain't kin to them, like, really. But I grew up with them, like, since I was a fucking kid. So no one decided to come to my fucking graduation, or my college graduation at that. And after the graduation, we threw a party at a family home, like a family house that everybody pretty much was close to. Maybe two of them came or whatever. Now, you know, I'm not bitter about the situation. At the time, I mean, I was upset. I was angry. I was more upset because my mom and my auntie had put a lot of work into me to make me a better man, to make me want to be a college graduate, to keep my mind, you know, where it needed to be. And, you know, but then I had a cousin, or one, you know, somebody came to them. She graduated from high school. The whole fucking family comes, bro. Like, you got people coming from Louisiana. You got people coming from Minnesota. You got people coming from wherever. Almost half these family members came to this girl high school graduation to support her. But when I graduated from college, then none of y'all show y'all asses up. You know what I'm saying? So then they wonder, like, you know, when we had these family reunions, when we had this get together, you wonder why I keep my motherfucking distance, bro. You wonder why I stay the fuck away. You know what I'm saying? My mom and my aunt had passed away. Okay? So when they passed away, I don't really have a connection to this family. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were my connection. So when they passed away, I just basically just keep my distance away from this family. You know what I'm saying? Because I like I said, it didn't bother me like that at the time. It did, but you know, I seen my stepmom, I seen her cry about the shit. I seen my auntie cry about this shit. Like, you know, they don't love you enough to even come to your graduation. Like, whoop de whoop. So, like I said, I keep my distance, and very few of them have even reached out to even try to whatever. But see, now I'm grown. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need y'all to try to reach out. I don't need y'all to whatever. When I needed y'all, y'all went the fuck there.